Okay, what's up, YouTube? You know what it is. It is Pacey Lake Show coming at you again one more time. About to give you another video. Remember to leave a like, remember to share, subscribe. Also, turn on notifications. Check out my social media. Links are in the description. So I want to talk to you guys about this one. Man, this is a very interesting news right here. This is very, very crazy news when you really think about it and all the parties that's involved. I mean, this is really some interesting stuff developing right now regarding Brandon Ingram. Obviously, we know that Brandon Ingram plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. Had a rough season last year, only averaged 20 points a game. Obviously, the Pelicans getting swept by the Thunder in the first round, and obviously, just they didn't really live up to expectations. Obviously, the Pelicans, everybody look at them as a young upcoming team. You got Zion Williamson, you got Brandon Ingram. So obviously that was a team that there was more expectations for. However, it just never really worked out, and now they're looking to potentially shake things up a bit by trading Brandon Ingram. Now, Brandon Ingram is actually eligible for an extension this summer, right? He's eligible for an extension this summer. And the Pelicans, they are not interested in really giving him an extension at a number that they don't like. Now, he's eligible for a max extension of up to for around $200 million. So that's the issue right now, right, with the Pelicans, because the Pelicans don't want to extend Brandon Ingram for $200 million. They are looking at giving him less than that, and obviously that's going to depend on what Brandon Ingram and his agent is looking for. So obviously, if they can't come to some kind of agreement, negotiations break down, whatever it is, then look for the Pelicans to actually put Brandon Ingram out there on the trade block, right? The Pelicans were not super impressed by him this season. He did play 68 games, but he's known to be injury prone. Previous years, he played like 50, 40 games, 40 something, 50 something games. And I think the Pelicans have grown a little bit wary of Brandon Ingram and just his health, his injury problems. Brandon Ingram is a very good player when healthy. Obviously, he's a guy, a three-level scorer, a guy that can get his own shot, put the ball on the floor, shoot threes, and he can also defend. He's a wing player, 6'8", 6'9", wing guy that has 7'3" wingspan. So kind of like a Kevin Durant build, not exactly Kevin Durant, but a similar kind of build to a Kevin Durant. And obviously, just a guy that can score the basketball. A guy that can score the basketball, a valuable piece to any team. Not necessarily as a first option, but maybe as a second or third option. Especially as a third option, I think he could be a valuable piece to a championship team. And obviously, him averaging only 20.8 points, 5.7 assists, 5.1 rebounds. Those stats for the Pelicans are not as impressive as they were hoping, and they don't want to sign. They don't want to have to extend him for $200 million. They know that that's the max that he's eligible for, but they don't want to extend him for that. They're looking to extend him for a significantly less amount than that, so that they could have money to then go out and get some additional pieces to put around Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Zion, right? So they're looking to extend Brandon Ingram for less than the $200 million. So obviously they're going to be negotiating with Brandon Ingram, but if those negotiations break down, then Brandon Ingram could potentially be on the trade block. Now, there are teams obviously that's going to be looking for a guy like a Brandon Ingram. There's going to be teams that's going to be looking for the services of a Brandon Ingram. Obviously, the Lakers, which is my team, obviously. The Lakers I think the Lakers is one of those teams that's definitely going to be interested in the Brandon Ingram, considering the fact that Brandon Ingram played for the Lakers, started his career with the Lakers. The Lakers drafted Brandon Ingram, so he started his career with the Lakers. So obviously, do expect a guy like Rob Pelinka to look at this as an opportunity to get a guy back who a lot of people thought that he shouldn't have been traded in the first place. And obviously, the Lakers definitely need wing depth. I mean, a guy like Brandon Ingram would solve part of the Lakers' issue, which is, you need athletic wings that can defend, that can shoot. Um, so a guy like a Brandon Ingram would actually be perfect. A 3-level scorer, a wing guy, 7'3" wingspan. I mean, athletic. That's a guy that the Lakers could definitely use on their roster. I mean, let's be real. Brandon Ingram would be a great fit. You know what I'm saying? And a huge addition for the Lakers, right? And obviously the Lakers are looking for a big man too. But I think if you could get a Brandon Ingram and maybe even a Valanciunas from the Pelicans, and you give up those draft picks, who knows? Who knows what would happen? I mean, the Lakers are a desperate team. I think that teams that are more desperate, teams that are in win now mode, like the Lakers, the Miami, teams like that, they're going to be more desperate to give up more. So do expect that certain teams are going to be willing to give them away. I think that's what the Pelicans are looking at. They're looking at what can we potentially get for a Brandon Ingram, right? Obviously, he has value on the market. So he does have trade value. He's a very good player. There's going to be teams that's going to be looking, especially a team that's in win now mode. I hear a lot of different teams getting thrown out. Obviously, Sacramento is another team as well that some teams believe that they're probably just a piece away, maybe two pieces away from building that championship team. And I think teams like Sacramento, Miami, the Lakers, there's other teams as well that's probably going to be looking for the services of Brandon Ingram. But it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be really interesting. I mean, look for a team like the Knicks as well. The Knicks, I mean, they are a good, solid basketball team. Obviously, they dealt with a lot of injuries this year, but they're like one of those teams again that's a piece away, right? You get a guy like a Brandon Ingram that could definitely change things a bit for the Knicks. That could definitely give them the wing depth that they're looking for, because I don't know if they have enough wing depth. You got a guy like a Brandon Ingram who could be your second or third option on that team. I mean, that's a huge addition. That's a huge piece to a championship puzzle. So, I do think the Lakers will make a move off Brandon Ingram if Brandon Ingram is available. There's a whole lot of rumors going on. Any free agent that's out there that's of any significant value is going to be some way or the other connected to the Lakers. I mean, people are always going to make those rumors. Those rumors are always going to be out there floating around about a potential signing for the Lakers. So that's gonna be the case regardless of any of these guys that there's rumors that they're gonna be available, whatever. Do I think the Lakers can get Brandon Ingram? I mean, it all depends on obviously the negotiation between the Pelicans and Ingram, and then just what the Pelicans are looking for. It's going to be interesting. I mean, remember, the Pelicans are a team that we've been linked to for the longest while where it relates to the Anthony Davis trade. I mean, they were supposed to, the likelihood is that we're going to keep our pick this year, and they're going to pick swap the next pick next year because, for whatever reason, they feel like this year's pick is not good enough or whatever. So there's always been that connection between us and the Pelicans where it relates to the, who gets the worst record and what that potentially means for the NBA draft, swapping out picks and stuff like that. I mean, the Pelicans own a lot of our picks. They own the rights to our picks for a good while. I mean, I think up till 2027 or something like that, they've owned the rights to pretty much a lot of our picks up to that point, so they can actually do a pick swap and things of that nature. So there's a lot of complications within that trade for Anthony Davis, so we're still linked to them in that way. And obviously, you look at a guy like a Brandon Ingram, who was included in that Anthony Davis trade. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Pelicans would be interested in terms of a potential deal with the Lakers, would they be willing to take back I don't know, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and a few picks for Brandon Ingram? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's possible that they may, as I said, they're obviously looking for depth, right, to bolster their roster. And I mean, you never know. I mean, those are young guys that could, fill a role. You get an Austin Reeves, you get a Rui Hachimura, guys that can score the basketball. Not great defenders, but then if Lakers throw in a few draft picks, who knows? I mean, the Pelicans might say, that they might accept that trade. And as I said, a team like the Lakers, who are a little bit more desperate than other teams who are in win now mode. You got LeBron James. I mean, you really don't have time to waste. If you're the Lakers, you gotta put a team, around LeBron that's gonna be able to compete for a championship. So obviously, teams like that, those teams are probably going to be a little bit more desperate, and maybe the Lakers might end up giving up too much for Brandon Ingram. I really feel like if it's me, I wouldn't give up more than a Rui and an Austin Reeves and maybe one first round pick. Maybe I'll throw in a second round pick, but that's pretty much it. I'm not giving up 2 first round picks along with Rui and Austin Reeves. That's just my opinion. You don't want to give up too much for a Brandon Ingram. Yes, Brandon Ingram's a good player, but he is injury prone. We do know that. We've seen over the years. I mean, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. When healthy, I mean, he's a great addition to the team, but he hasn't been able to stay healthy over the years. Even when he was with us, right? He's always had injury woes, injury issues, in and out of the lineup, and since he's been with the Pelicans, been the same thing. Played one season, played 40 games, another season played 50 games. This was one of his better seasons. This year, you actually played 68 games. But, we did see that he wasn't, even in the playoffs, he still wasn't himself, wasn't really healthy. And it just showed it kind of affected the team. He just wasn't good in the playoffs, man. Just wasn't good in the playoffs. So all in all, I mean, let me know what you guys think about this. I think this is a very, very interesting thing for the Lakers. Lakers got some big decisions to make. Obviously, still got to choose a coach, which I'm going to be talking about. But let me know what you guys think, and have a great day. Pacey Lake Show signing out. Peace.